say as you go on your way. That's entertainment.
Hello and welcome to Real Live Entertainment. Today we're going to do a movie review. It's called The Other Son, and it's a French film, and it's about infants that were born the same night, at the same hospital, and were switched at birth, which is a theme throughout literature. It's an old theme. This one is done so beautifully, so heart-wrenching that you really feel for both mothers. The mothers were a Palestinian Arab woman, and the other woman is an Israeli doctor, a woman doctor. And one of the boys is going to go into the army. And so he goes for a blood test. And the blood test shows that he's A positive. And when he comes home, his mother, who's the doctor, says, "It's impossible. Your father and I are both A negative. You can't possibly be A positive." So she starts to delve into, he goes for another test and it comes out the same. And she starts to delve into how this could happen. And she finds that the babies were switched at birth. And she locates the other family. They're two very different families from very different circumstances, and they have really nothing in common but their natural, I don't want to say hatred, maybe dislike for each other. And they have sons, they both have sons that they brought up for 17 years, thinking they were their son. And so the story evolves. The boys meet, the families meet, and they learn that people are people, and that they can understand each other. You know, it's also like a scientific study on nurture and nature. You know, what forms a child? Is it the genetic makeup, or is it the environment? And you will see that some things are genetic. One of the boys is a natural musician, like his real father, the Arab. And you never know which is more important, but this film describes it all. And I'm going to show you a few scenes from it and hope that although you can't understand the language, maybe you'll understand the emotions.
As the director of this establishment, it falls to me to confirm the serious error. You gave birth at the same time as Mrs. Al-Bezaz in two neighboring rooms. We therefore arrived to the conclusion that when they were evacuated together, the two children were switched by mistake.
Je comprends pas. Tu veux dire que je suis l'autre? Que l'autre c'est moi? Ça fait quoi quand tu l'as su?
J'essaie de trouver un sens à cette histoire.
انت متخيل اذا اختي عرفت الاهل والاصحاب والجيران؟
אמך אמיתית אינה יהודייה, אז גם אתה לא.
C'était important pour moi d'être juif. Ça avait du sens. Maintenant, c'est comme si j'existais pas.
من يوم ما خلقت وانت يهودي، ليش ما تروح تعيش بجهة تاني؟ مش بدك صار هناك؟
Joseph is an artist, is a dreamer.
On a rêvé.
did you learn anything from those clips from The Other Son? I sure did. And it gave me food for thought for many days after I saw this film. Both boys learn to accept each other. I think the families take longer, as children are easier to adapt than adults are. So there are a lot of things in this film that you can relate to as a human being. And you can see that, I don't know, it leaves you, you don't ever know whether the boys are going to go to their natural parents or they're going to stay where they are. I prefer to think that they're going to stay where they are, because if you take a child into your home, it becomes your own, whether it's genetically yours or not. I mean, I took a puppy into my home, and it's part of my family. So I can imagine what taking a child into your family would be like. Anyway, I think that if you get a chance to see this film called The Other Son, you should see it. It'll give you food for thought. It'll entertain. It'll make you maybe a little more understanding of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and maybe there are ways to resolve it. So for OCTV, I'm Elaine Kugelman, and thank you for joining us today for this session of Real Live Entertainment.
You say, as you go on your way,